Boom, my people, my people. We are live. Alabama wins. Tap on in. Let everybody know we are live. Tap on in, man. We got everybody here tapping on in. Uh-oh. Echoes are not wanted. No echoes. We don't do echoes. Got Twitter popping, YouTube. Tap on in. Hit that like button on you guys way in, man. Please like, subscribe, share this live. Tap on in. Let me make sure everything is good. Be sharp. Let me make sure everything is copa steady. You know what I mean? As we tap, if you guys tap on in, please hit that like button if you don't mind for me. You know what I mean? To let everybody know we are live. We are here. And we are doing the damn thing. And that's just what it is and what it's gonna be. Roll Tide to everybody that's popping in right now as I see. Roll Tide to everybody, man. Great, great win for the University of Alabama today, man. Definitely saw what I wanted to see. Come out, put your foot on Mercer, man. Don't let nobody, let them have no confidence, no nothing. And we did exactly as I thought we should do, man. Shout out to everybody who in the chat, man. Much love to everybody. Roll Tide to my girl Latoya, man. For sure, for sure. Roll Tide to you. My brother B Sharp is here. My brother Piano Man is here. Nove J Speed, what's going on, my broski? Roll Tide to you. My sister KT is here. KT, what it is, what it's gonna be. We got the host. We got my broski right here, man. My guru himself, another OG. You know, anytime you get two OGs on here, you're doing something right, man. My broski, Coach Al. Coach Al, that's the piano man. I already know you know him. You know what I'm saying? And that's my broski from another Moski, Coach Al.
What's up,
You
fellas?
already know what it is. How you doing, Coach?
Coach
Man, I'm
Al.
great. I'm great. What's up, Piano? What's going on, brother?
Man, if I did any better, I'm about to sit down.
Hey, you know what I always say to that? If I got in the bed, I have to
What's
put.
that, bro?
If I got in the bed, I have to put it in the can and sell it.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it, man. That's it, man. My brother A Watt. What's up, A Watt? What's going on with your Roll Tide, broski? Mike Jones. Mike Jones. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Roll Tide, bro. Duke to go. What it is, broski? How you feeling and how you doing, man? David, what's going on, David, bro? Yeah, me too, David. Me too, bro. That boy, he need to play more, bro.
My
Good Lord,
goodness.
that boy need to
Yeah,
play more, bro.
exactly.
My goodness.
That cat hit the line of scrimmage like it ain't nothing left to live for. You know what I'm saying? Look, Coach Al been calling for it. You know what I'm
I like the
saying?
look in his eyes,
Yeah.
coach. I like the look
Yes,
in his
he
eyes,
he,
man.
he
You look at that.
hungry. He
Look
hungry,
at
man.
that guy's eyes.
Katrina, what's up, my sister? So good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Thank you for tapping in with me for sure, with all of us. Double L himself, Larry Lodge. What up, broski? How you feeling? How you doing? K Spray, what is the business? How you feeling and how you doing? Good to see you guys, man. Let's kick it on off, man. Look, I'm sure Coach Carl and everybody will be tapping in. Much love to everybody in the chat, man. Roll Tide to you guys, all of you. Let's start. Be sharp. Be sharp. Give me your thoughts on what you saw, man. It was a great win. I'm so happy everybody got to play, man. You know, these young kids, man, they get discouraged when they don't get to play. So I was very, very, very excited to see these kids get an opportunity to get out there and try to make some plays, man. What did you see, B Sharp? And give me your overall thoughts of today's win over Mercer.
Well, what's good, everybody? I'm about to say, if y'all hear some children music in the background, that's for my daughter, so I apologize. But
Good. All good.
man, I loved everything about this game, man. Especially everybody got a chance to play. I think I said we need to run the ball at least 40 or 50 times. We ran it 43 times, and I think they robbed Caden Proctor of a touchdown. They both gave big man a touchdown. Defense was creating turnovers, man. It's not too much to not like about this game. So I was definitely happy about it.
Facts, man. Facts. Loved every minute about it. Me personally, man, I love the fact that, like I said, I'm glad everybody got to play. We got a little passy there for a minute, but I understand you're just trying to square some things up, I suppose, before we take this trip on the road. Coach Al, tell me what you see that you liked, man. Give me some things that you saw that you liked.
Hey, well, coach, the big thing for me, we came out pretty healthy.
Facts, man.
That's the biggest
Yes.
thing right there. You know, everybody came out of this game pretty healthy, and the guys that didn't need to play didn't play. So that means that, and let's just face it, we've been looking at OU film this week.
Yeah, of
Let's just be
course.
real. Let's be real. All right, I give Mercer some credit. Number two in the secondary, that kid's from over here in the ATL area, and
Yeah,
he has some skills. So I'm glad to see some kids that I knew out there. Had some acquaintance with anyway. But it was a business trip. That's what it
yeah,
was, man. We didn't turn the rock over. We took it away. All those things, all those cliche things that we all gonna say, uh, we did it. We now one thing I'm gonna say, Coach. We talked about this. I wanted to see one of our backs go over 100 yards from the line of
yeah.
scrimmage. We ain't had
From the
that
line.
this year, not this year. And in the
Yeah,
playoffs, you're gonna have to run the rock against teams that know that you're trying to run it, and you got to run it. And until we commit to that, I sent you that text in the game. Passy, passy.
facts. Passy, passy, passy.
I
Yes.
still didn't see that. So I can't take away anything negative other than things I really wanted us to see to try to
Yeah,
exploit in this game. But other than that, all three phases pretty good. We didn't put it on the ground. We didn't throw any picks. We played a pretty clean game. 5, 6 penalties, maybe something like that.
yeah,
One of them was undeserved. That PI call, I think, early in the game. That wasn't called for. Um, one thing I will say this too, Coach. Rock Montgomery, when he got in the game, Rock did some good things, man. You
right.
know, I like his footwork. I like his he's really got a low base. Uh, at the point of contact, he's nasty, man. He got a mean streak in him. I love that. So stock up for that position for next year, whether he plays left guard or right guard.
Facts.
Mhm.
Facts. I
Yeah.
can't agree. I couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. Rock. Honestly, to me, that second line, all besides a play here, a play there, really played well, and they were physical off the ball. It was physical. Olaf's Alinen,
Yeah, yeah.
73.
But McVay, I tell you one thing about McVay, man. I think this kid's kind of wrapped pretty tight upstairs, man.
Yeah.
You can see him getting everybody, lining up and knowing what we're trying to do, and he's bought in. I like his game too.
Yeah, man. That second line really put belt to ass. I enjoy that, man. Shout out to Kimberly. What's up, Kimberly? Roll Tide to you, sis.
Kimberly,
Good to see you. Ebony, what's up, girl? What's going on with
Ebony.
just my partner right there, man? Much love,
Ebony.
E. Much love, Ebony. Good to
Okay,
see you,
Ebony.
sweetie.
MF
Uh,
time.
MF time.
Only Ebony.
Yes, yes. Piano man, talk to me, bro. What did you see, man? That you enjoyed, man. What did you see?
Uh, I'm going to come from another slant with it, Coach.
Okay,
All of y'all. I'm going to come from a negative, and I'm going to work my way to a positive.
okay,
The first 3 minutes of the game, we on defense, we committed two penalties. One for a horse collar, one for pass interference.
thanks.
Then later on, we committed a holding call. Then lo and behold, Damani Jackson causes a fumble, and the rest is history. The only reason that I brought that up is because on that horse collar call, that was sort of bogus to me. When you go back and you look at it real closely, it really wasn't a horse collar, but I guess the refs, here we go again. And then on the first offensive series, I noticed how fast we played. They did not give Mercer the chance to respond. They didn't give them a chance to readjust. They played fast, caught them off guard, kept them on their heels. And then the first touchdown was their jet sweep to Ryan. And then on the second possession, or offensive possession, Mercer brought the pressure. And I think that we responded. So when I look at all of the phases of the game, as Coach Al said, we looked good, and we did look good up under the pressure. And I can't find any fault. The only thing I really want to say from the uh, constructive criticism is number one, like Coach said, we got to run the football because if this playoff thing holds up like it does, and we play Indiana, and it's cold up there, and it's windy up there, that wind is going to affect the passing game. We got to be able to run the football to substantiate this, to supplement the passing game. Then number two, I want to see us get Kendrick Law involved a lot more.
Yeah, no,
Other than that,
no, yes,
We in now.
What do you let me get Coach Al? Coach Al, what do you think that is why we're not getting Kendrick? It's like they don't do nothing but jet sweep him to death. Like I don't understand that. No meshes, no crosses, nothing. He a physical receiver. You
Yeah,
know, don't trust
yeah.
him on a deep route. It seems like you would trust him coming across formation. What do you think that is, Coach Al?
It's kind of tough to call with that coach, to be honest with you, because a guy like that with his skill set, you definitely want him in shallows. You
Yeah.
want him in some tunnel screens, some middle screens.
Yes.
Get the ball in his hands on the run. Um, he's kind of like I'm from the old school. Remember when there was a two back set? We had a wide receiver and a flanker.
Flanker. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, he's a
Yeah.
flanker. Okay, he's the kind of guy that's a running back that plays receiver. So he's a flanker. He's an off the ball
Yeah.
kind, off the line of scrimmage kind
Off
of
the
guy.
line of scrimmage. Yeah.
He's a move
Facts.
kind of guy, and I'm not sure, Coach. I've been trying to figure that one out all year. To be honest with you.
Me too, man. It's like,
Yeah,
man, they don't even attempt to go to the cat if he's in playing at the outside receiver or the inside receiver. You know what I mean? Shout out to Anitra. Roll
yeah.
Tide to Anitra. Vashati Turner. What's up? How you doing? VT. Patriot Life. What's going on, my broski
Patriot.
from another Moski? Good to see you guys, man. MJ Thomas, my girl
Yeah.
Kimberly. Everybody, much love to you all. Roll Tide to you all for sure, for sure. I want to get into this, man, because I don't think it's highlighted enough, man. We talked about it, and I know Ty has harped on it, and so has Coach Jay for the longest. Man, right now, who is playing better than Jahad Campbell
Oh
as far as middle linebacker, any linebacker?
man.
They say they had him ranked behind Jalen Walker from Georgia. And what's crazy about Jalen Walker and Jahad Campbell, both of these kids are from the East Coast, Maryland and
New Jersey.
New Jersey, respectively, right?
Yeah.
Both of their birthdays are February 24th, 2004, right? And they both play outside and inside. They both rush the passer. They bring pressure. They can play edge and they play in the middle. So I don't think anybody at this moment is playing. Jahad Campbell for the last 3-4 games has had a stretch like no other. Um, you got to get this kid his credit, man. And I compliment Kane Womack for finding ways to get this kid involved, even when he's not playing in the middle, when he's not playing that Mike. They get him on the edge and get him some pressures. Brinsky, speak to me about that, man. Speak to me about the play of Jahad Campbell, and you can tell from his celebrations how confident he is. That kid is confident in what he's doing, right? His first step is always in the right direction. His leverage is pretty good all the time. Even when he's not in the play, he's in the play, if you know what I mean. What do you think about Jahad Campbell right now, man?
I just sat down in the office. Now I'm good. Okay, I was just about to say go to one of them. Oh man, the way he's playing right now, man, he's playing like a complete linebacker, and I think he's playing the best in the nation right now. And I'm glad that when they asked the question about who would you take, Walker or him, and the guy said I take Jahad Campbell, and I
Yeah,
expected him to play lights out this year, man. I just expected it because he wasn't no 5-star for no reason, and of course he's not playing as much as he did last year. He was playing, but not as much like he was the starter this year.
yeah,
So, man, it's great to see him shining. I know we're gonna lose him after this season because the NFL gonna be calling. I don't even
yeah.
when they first dropped those mock drafts at the beginning of the year, and he wasn't on that first round. I need to find my tweet on that. I said they out of their
Facts.
mind. They out of their mind because this man about to shoot up them boards. He's gonna make somebody happy, man, because he is just attacking everywhere, especially the one that Lawson, Deontay, like he tried to get him by the legs and he got up out of there, and all you see is Jahad Campbell just flying across the field to grab him, man. To
Mm-hmm.
stop first
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Great in the pass game, got good hands, play sideline to sideline, man. I just love everything about Jahad, man.
So Jason, if you want that link, let me know, man. Roll Tide to my bro Jason. Much love to Oklahoma. If
Oh
you want
yeah,
that link, Jason, let me know, man. I'll shoot it to you right quick, bro. Was Oklahoma off today? I
I
didn't.
think
Was
so.
it Oklahoma? They was off today, right?
I think so.
I think
Cause
so.
I ain't see.
I think
Yeah,
so.
they
Yeah.
had to be because I ain't see them nowhere on the highlights, nothing. So I'm assuming they were off. You want that link, Jason? Let me know, bro. Much love, Pam too. Listen, this is my thing, Coach Al. Give me your perspective on Jihad and how he's being used, man. Much less, his play. Brinsky hit that on the head.
Yeah,
Talk about how he's being used right now, man, and the success he's having being used that way.
yeah. He's a guy that's playing off ball, and Womack has kind of freed him up. Okay, he's a runner. He's a see ball, get ball. And one thing, Brisket hit it. What I like is how the two linebackers are playing off each other. See, one thing about it, if a guy gonna go, if he see it, if Flo is going that way, first guy see it. Okay, the
Yeah.
second guy got to track him because he got the cutback. You see what I mean? So what happened was on that play Brinsky talking about. All right, Agent Zero, he shot it. Okay, and he spilled it. And so what Jihad was doing, he kept his feet moving. That's one thing about a
Yep.
linebacker. If you ever get his feet stopped, he's dead. Jihad doing a great job technique wise. So in indies and stuff like that, they really coaching him up big time. He's taking to it. And guys I used to coach and guy that play, when your body works for you, you can do that. Okay.
Facts.
So what
Facts,
he
man.
does, he has great lateral speed. And Kane Womack has realized that. And I give Agent Zero a lot of credit because he's a setup man and he's freeing Jihad up to do a lot. You got to give Zero a lot of credit for being a captain and being a mature dude, for sacrificing himself and giving himself up to force that stuff. That's why our defense has gotten so good. We're starting to play off of each other and fill and gap everything right. And so James Smith is another one too inside. That's very very active, strong hands, heavy hands. And Jihad is just a benefactor. They keeping him clean. They're not letting them guards get to him. And you seeing a guy that's just blowing up in the scheme. The whole team. In fact, the whole team, we're
Yeah.
playing 11 defense, 111th. Everybody's feeding off each other. It's a beautiful thing to watch, man.
It's happened at the right time.
It's
Thank
peaking,
God
man.
it's happened.
We
Yeah,
peaking.
man.
We peaking.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Peaking.
I mean, we had a little chat earlier, coach, and we were talking about who the defensive MVP was going to be today. Remember that? And
Facts.
and I still stuck with 11, and I think you were going with Damani, and both of them guys
Yeah.
came up big today, man. So
Came up big, man. Came up
love
big. Piano man. Tell me what you see from Jihad, man. Coach Al talked about how he's being used. Brinsky talked about his successes, his play on the field. Talk to me about what you see from Jihad and what you see going forward, most importantly, going into Oklahoma. It's not for me, it's never too early to talk about the next game for me. Unless it's a
Right.
big, big rivalry. Going on the road into somewhere like Norman, that's a traditional tough place to play. We understand Oklahoma's struggles this year, but it's still Oklahoma. It's still
Right.
Oklahoma, man. And talk to me about what you see from Jihad going forward.
I love his leadership and the fact that uh like what coach was just saying, that they feed off of each other. And when one, I'm not out there on the field, but it seems like if one gets down, he's there to pick them all up and remind them of who they are. And the one other thing I like about Jihad as far as his play go, I love his vision. He
it.
is like he sees the whole scope of all the way across the board there, and he's at the play. He's like his anticipation is right there, and so that gets you a long way going to the next level. And speaking of next level, Jihad, he played well last year, but this year is like he's at another place and just doing the doggone thing. So I love his level, his level of thinking, his level of vision, his confidence, his leadership, going side to side, straight ahead. He's playing a complete game.
Facts. All facts, man. I couldn't agree more. That is a complete breakdown of Jihad, man. All the way around. This kid is playing well for real. Shout out to Tim Levitt, man. Shout out to Walter Shepard. Shout out to Ty Does Moto. If Ty was here, he would say that is a great name. That's what he would say. You know what I mean? Roll Tide to you all. Yeah, he definitely would say that, man. You know what I mean? Much love to you all, man. Shout out to my sister Pam. Big shout out, man. Got my brother Coach Al right there. Listen,
Yeah.
man. I'm really, really, really impressed. And I see Tim. Tim said he didn't like seeing Jalen stare down the receivers all day and
Mhm.
holding on to the ball too long. Had a decent day though. Wanted more from our running backs. The vision needs to get better. For me, Tim, it really wasn't about the vision. It's just about the push on the offensive line and the opportunity. Um, I get where you're going though. I smell where you're coming from. You know what I mean? We on the same wavelength, right? Shout out to Nicole. Nicole, good to see you, sister. I appreciate you, man. My brother Walt Albright. Um,
Got
But as
that.
far as Jalen, man, we did get a little pass, had a little few little stretch where we got a little pass happy that we wanted to see them keep the ball on the ground, for future references, for future games, like Coach Al just touched on, and Piano Man just touched on. Um, but and it's gonna be interesting, man. It's one of them things to where I don't know if it's we can't run the ball, we just don't. I don't really know, right? The opportunities like Coach Al was talking about before the game, he'd love to see at least get one back over 100. And I believe if we had been patient enough, we would have had that. I really, really do. I think Richard Young need to touch the field more, man. That kid, he got a different gear, man, when it comes to line of scrimmage, second level. That kid's, his plant foot in the ground and get up field north and south is a little different. As Coach Al said, getting skinny in the hole, he a little different, man. Now Jam do the same thing. Jam try to bounce stuff a lot, and Justice is getting better as far as attacking the line of scrimmage. But Richard attacked that thing like with no avail, right? And sometimes we need patient backs to let the block set up, but sometimes you need backs that's gonna fire through the line of scrimmage, man. On short yardage, you need a guy that's gonna carry that thing east and west, shoulder square. You know what I mean? Not necessarily hit the outside all the time because you're not gonna be able to outrun everybody to the edge as we've seen in the past. Daniel Hill got some burn. So did number 28, Riley. He got some burn. Riley to me is very similar to Justice and Jam, right? Um, Very, very similar. You know what I mean? A lot of similar backs we got on this roster. But I really, really hope these guys get Richard Young some burn, man. I really hope they get him some burn with the first group, man. And shout out to our second group offensive line. That might be the
Yeah.
best couple of series I've seen them play. Usually when the second group offensive line come in, it's not a pretty sight. But Olos Alinen, number 73, was putting all of them were putting belt to ass. But Olos was pancaking folks, bro. This dude was putting people on their back. I was like, whoa, who is 73? I had to go back and look. That was Olos Alinen, the kid
That's right.
Germany.
from is it Germany?
I
You
think
know,
it's Germany.
Yeah,
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 man. This
right,
kid, we got some killers on that old line. And shout out to
right.
Austin Mack, man. I didn't know that kid
Smack.
had an arm like that, flat footed, about 40 yards. I didn't know he could throw it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So the future's bright, brother. The future's bright. So let's get into this really quickly. The play calling. The play calling for me, man, was where it needed to be. I couldn't really give them no bad grades because we didn't really get challenged a lot. I don't really, when I watch games like this, I don't really watch uh, the execution as far as what he's calling on down and distance. I know, the way they was playing, we was gonna have some. We talked about this last night. We were gonna have opportunities, as we said. These guys have bad eyes a lot. When you watch them, sometime, if you watch them a couple of their games, they stuck with that 7-man box. Some of their eyes were bad because sometimes opportunistic defenses, they'll make a play. They'll make a play because they're opportunistic. They take chances. But every once in a while, Coach Al, you know how it is. They give up something, man. Brinsky, I
right.
want you to talk. Let's go in reverse order. Let's go Piano Man. Piano Man, talk to me about this. These guys, and give love to Mercer, man. I know we beat them like a
Hmm.
drum, right? But these guys
Hmm.
were what? 9-1, 8-1,
9 and
Nine
one.
and
whatever it
one.
was.
9 and 1.
9-1. They're gonna play for their championship in their conference, but we
Hmm.
beat them like they stole something, bro. And that's what we wanted to see. Talk to me about Mercer and talk to me about their struggles against this defense. Do you think it was just a schematic thing? Do you think it's just because we had more talent, or do you think we dominated from kickoff to zero on the clock?
Coach, it's a combination of all three. It's a combination of all three. The one thing that impressed me about Mercer was the running back, Miller. That dude, that dude can run the
Yeah,
football. And the one thing that I liked about him is that uh, no matter how many times we had him trapped in the backfield, a couple of times, he broke it and got away into the second layer of our defense. And so, shout out to that young brother because he kept them in the game, so to speak, or kept it honest, or I guess that's the word I'm looking for. But those guys are good. But they ran into a more physical, more dominant, more depth field Alabama team. And so, in the long run, going forward for Mercer, that's going to do nothing for them but strengthen them when they play in their conference championships or however that goes. That's going to strengthen them because they played against quote unquote the standard. So it's a combination of all three.
My bad, Coach Al. I hit that. Coach Al, talk to me about the offensive line. I want to know what grade would you give them this in this game? The offensive line from beginning to end. The first team. Just stick with the first team. What grade would you give them?
Yeah, solid B plus. I mean, I didn't see us just totally dominate the line of scrimmage, but I give Mercer some credit for that. Mercer was really they played with a lot of energy, man. They played hard. You could tell they got some upperclassmen, some guys with some skills, some game time.
Yeah.
They played a lot of ball. That one guy that you talked about earlier this week, Otto Osco, something like that. He
Osco, yeah, man.
the whole game, you know. But I like to think that our guys, it was a business trip. You know, we took care of the line of scrimmage. We didn't, we kept our quarterback. I don't think we had any sacks today. I don't think, you know. So I think offensive line, they didn't drop off from last week. I didn't see any drop off as far as us just do. We ran the ball. We touched the ball 42 times. So some teams um, are just line up, give it to the tailback, and run downhill. Some teams they run it a little bit different with the with
Facts.
the with the quick passing game. The screens to give you a long handoff kind of thing to still run the ball. So, but I'm gonna say this too, Coach. Um, I think we had some window dressing for Oklahoma
Yeah.
next week.
Facts. I was gonna get to that. Yeah.
Notice because
Yeah.
when have we thrown the ball down the seam to Oots?
Man,
So
that play been there all year, bro.
well, I'm gonna say something else to you, Coach. A guy like me, I'm saying, okay, if you see Oots in that H back, or he's got his hand in the dirt, then you think we're gonna run downhill. Okay, so now I'm gonna run him up the seam, and I'm gonna keep that safety that's over the top of him. I'm gonna keep him coming down the box. So now we're gonna hit you in the mouth with Oots because you ain't just straight screaming downhill. Because now the guy can run right past you. Because I think it was a setup. That's just me. You know, I do
Facts.
stuff to screw
Facts.
with guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you think you got me peaked? Okay, I'm mess with you, son. So to your point, the O line solid performance. They didn't get too many pre-snap penalties. I didn't see. I think they called Proctor on a holding call, which I thought was bogus at the beginning. He just mauled the guy, and so B plus solid.
All facts, man. All facts. Me personally, I really enjoyed the offensive line how they played this game, and they was having fun. They was
Yes,
having
sir.
fun, bro. I was
Hmm.
I was enjoying seeing Caden and the offensive line jump up and high five each other, man. That's the part that makes a team to have fun, bro. That's a dangerous
That's a
team.
dangerous
Be
team.
sharp.
They loose. They playing loose
Yes,
right
they
now.
loose.
They playing
Yes,
loose.
man.
Yeah, they understand.
Yes.
Hey, the other thing, everybody's starting to understand their role. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got that me mentality out of here. Get out of here, man. You know,
Yes.
it's all about you. Get your, what out of here, man. We don't
Of
need.
course, of course. Those roles are defined now, and I love that, man. And it take a little longer for some teams, depending on the personnel in the locker room and the personalities in the locker room. It take a little longer
You
sometimes.
need Booker
The
put you in that
transition.
locker. That's what you need. That's what's going to.
Facts, facts.
You know,
To
you,
come to Jesus meeting is
yeah, man.
needed at
You know,
sometimes.
yeah, man. Like he one of them dudes put somebody in the locker. Come to the locker.
Of course. Thank you, Mia, for fixing the light, baby. I appreciate you. Be sharp. Take the other side of the trenches, bro. Talk to me about the D line. They did some great things, man. I seen Tim Keenan out there, playing multiple positions tonight. Talk to me about the D line. Number 23, the young man from Montgomery,
Hey,
James.
yeah.
Yeah, 44. Talk to me about these guys, man. The rotation is now set. These guys are playing well in the defensive front. Talk to me about what you saw from the trenches on the other side of the football.
Man, them boys were attacking. Like Keenan was attacking. You see him playing different position was kind of shocking to me. I don't think I seen him play in different positions. Oh yeah, I always seen him play D tackle,
Yep.
but he was still attacking, and he kind of slowed down a little bit for like not like how he started the year off because he was starting off like he was Quentin Williams out there and
Yeah.
just getting in the backfield. I'm like, my God, he trying to get that draft stock up, ain't he?
Yeah.
And then James Smith, man, you see how he's playing. I'm so glad that he's getting the burn. Like I love Jaheim Otis, but not as much as I love James Smith because I felt like he's more athletic, can move
Facts.
more, can tap more, and then uh, his partner in crime, Quay Russo.
Yeah.
Man, you seen that interception? I was like, man, did he catch that one hand? And when they showed it,
Yes.
replay and he caught it, and you going the other way. He just
Yeah.
so happened to stick his hand out there, and it just fell right to his hand. So yeah, man, the guys was out there attacking. I wish we could have got to the quarterback more. I wish we could have disrupted their run game a little bit more. But
Yeah.
overall, I'm pleased at what I've seen. I don't know. I stopped watching the game around the fourth quarter. I don't know if Keon Keeley got in the game or whatnot. But if he did, I'm about to say I really wanted to see him play. So
Dominated.
he dominated.
Dominated. That guy, Gretzky, the boy is playing like he understands what he's doing.
Need to get him some more burn.
Coach, he's not indecisive. When he come off the ball, it's violent. You're
Yes.
starting to see a player. Okay, now that was their first string.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he doing them like that.
Shout out to my brother Jason Watkins, Oklahoma's
Yeah.
finest in the
Good
building.
My
Shout out to
man.
you, Jay. What's
Check
going
it out.
on with you, Jay? Jay, this you already know, Brinsky. You already know Coach Al. This is Piano Man
Hey, I
61.
know Piano
My
Man
brother
too.
Wendell.
That's the most popular dude in this joint. What you talking about?
I'm trying to tell you. I tried to tell him. He won't listen to me. I
Facts.
tried to tell him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Jason.
how you guys doing?
Man, we
Man,
good,
What's up,
brother.
Jay?
Look,
What's
I
up,
give
man?
Piano Man love. I give him love because he said last night, I want to see the tight ends get involved. And I'd be dead gummit if Oots didn't catch him one. Could have had two. If Jalen had
Yeah.
set his feet, could have had two.
Yes, sir.
Number 80, Shavas, what you know what I mean? Went
Quavers.
up and went up and went up
Yeah.
and got one. Yeah, man. So I was very, very happy to see. The second group really made me happy, man. I really got excited with the second group, man. Look, Jason, let's get you right up in this thing, man. Now we got Oklahoma next week. Oklahoma had a week off. You know, the men get healthy, whatever the case may be. Oklahoma's a different beast at home. You know what I'm saying? Those fans are gonna be in a madhouse. I mean, Norman is gonna be crazy, right? It's still Oklahoma, man. Don't the
Well,
transitive property thing ain't something I really pay attention to. It's still Oklahoma, bro. It's still Oklahoma. Those are prideful people, man. Prideful people, prideful program. You're not gonna be able to just roll your damn. The Vanderbilt game should show us. You can't appreciate you, Chris. Much love to you, Chris from New Jersey. That's my broski right there, man. The best caller of all time. If you can't just roll your damn helmet out there and just expect to win. You got to line up and you got to play physical, man. Jason, what's your take on this game from an Oklahoma perspective? I know we just won Mercer, but shout out to Mercer. But we off Mercer. Let's go into the game that means something. We got 2 games left, man. Jason, what do you
Yeah.
see, man?
man, well, first off, I wish I was as excited about the game as I was at the start of the year, but I got to be honest with you, man. It's one of those games that you just really hope you don't get blown the hell out of your own damn building, because I
Man.
think that could happen real easy with this football team. Huh?
Y'all, you're not about to put that on us. No, don't even tell me.
No, Jason. No.
We don't. I don't trust that. I don't believe it.
Well, whatever, bro. I mean, you've been watching this football team all year or what? Because I got to tell you,
Man,
when you're a top 5 total offense and scoring offense a year ago, and you're in the hundreds now, and all that stuff, it's been really bad. Look, I love the defense. I think that the defense can give you guys some problems getting after the quarterback a little bit. If they can do that, shut down the run. That's one of the things that nobody's really done a good job running the football against them that much. I think you've had some times where you did decent, right? But yeah, I mean, with the way that you guys are playing football right now, it's just one of those things that you kind of look at it and you're like, damn. You got probably, I mean, I think that Jalen Milroe is at least one of the top couple quarterbacks in the country, man. He's just one of those guys that can beat you so many ways. He's a special player. Ryan Williams scares the hell out of me. He really does. And you know, it's been a humbling season, obviously for us OU fans, but I think you can kind of hang your hat on the fact, like you said, you're definitely gonna play with some pride being at home, and I think if you can keep that kind of close and maybe get something out of it, but it's just a problem of how they're playing offense. You just can't really expect a whole lot, and that's been hard. So, not to mention the fact you're going up against a pretty damn good defense. I think that what I've seen out of Alabama that I've been more impressed with anything than over the last 4 or 5 weeks is just seems like you kind of turned the corner on the defensive side of the ball a little bit. Whereas I think that was a struggle early on, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure who we're going to have in at quarterback. I'm hoping that they're going to go back to Hawkins because I think that you've lost Jackson Arnold at this point. So I'm hoping that they're trying to keep Hawkins around. I think he probably gives you a few more problems too as far as what his abilities are.
His legs.
But
yeah.
I just, like I said, man, it's I hope that they for the seniors like guys like Danny Stutzman and Bowman and we've got 4 seniors on that defensive side that came back to kind of give us a run, take a run at it, and the offense just really let them down. So I hope that they can stick in there and just kind of make it competitive. You know what I mean? I hate saying
my
that
brother.
as an Oklahoma fan. I really hate saying being competitive like that, but it's reality.
Shout out to my broski, Coach Jay. Thank you for showing me on the private chat, Coach Jay, because this thing got to scroll down. Shout out to my brother, Coach Jay, in the house, man. Coach Jay, I already turned the page on Mercer, bro. We could sit here and waste this live talking about Mercer, but I mean that's cool. We played well, great, we did. I want to talk about the game that we got 2 games left, man. 2 games left, Coach Jay. That's Coach Jay. Do you know Piano Man Wendell from the chat? Piano Man 61.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, that's Piano. Coach Jay, Piano Man. He already know you, Coach
All right,
Jay.
Coach. Good to see you, man.
What's going on?
Coach Jay, Jason just spoke on it, man. Jason just spoke on it. And I don't want to feed into the rat poison because this is still Oklahoma, bro. It's still Norman. This is still pride for people. This is not Vandy, right? This is Oklahoma. They'll try to play their best game come Saturday. Let's talk about it. What you think from what you've seen today? Not necessarily the opponent, but the execution as far as from the defensive side of the ball, Jahad Campbell. Will that translate on the road to Norman, Oklahoma?
I think it can definitely translate. I think one thing about Alabama is they're going to match anybody when it comes to their athleticism. I feel like their ability to kind of play the edge and be strong in the interior has definitely improved compared to past weeks. I think our secondary, as a whole, has been a lot better when it comes to filling in the run game. I feel like that is something that's been a lot better as well. So I look at this Oklahoma team, and yes, like Jackson Arnold is the bigger threat because of what he can. He is the bigger threat because of what he can do with his legs, also what he can do with his arm. Obviously, Hawkins is the more. I would consider him to be the more mobile quarterback. Quarterback that's he's not going to be asked to do too much, but like Hawkins is kind of like a very, very young Jalen Hurts type of quarterback where his arm, like he's not gonna, he doesn't look like he has that much upside as a passer, but he's just a leader off the field. He continues to inspire the guys right next to him, and I think that again he can he's gonna create a lot of plays with his legs. Oklahoma's just been banged up, right? I think they're like Jason said, like they're getting a little more healthier. But the strength of their football team is their defense. That's the strength of this team, and that's where I think Oklahoma can make it they can make this game a lot scarier than what I would like to envision. Because they're disciplined. They have a very disciplined defense. They got playmakers on the defensive line. They're not afraid to tackle. They're not afraid to come up and tackle. Brent Venables, I thought, over his tenure, I thought he's done a really, really good job in terms of really improving this defense. I just think that Oklahoma's offense is kind of the question mark in terms of, can they get consistent? Can they just get a consistent push? Can they put together more, kind of consistent drives? Can they be threatening down the field? Right? Like you cannot be one dimensional against Alabama, right? You have to, you got to find a balance. in terms of establishing more of a ground game, but also, challenging Alabama through the air, especially because Alabama's secondary is still banged up. You got a lot of young guys
Man,
that are still trying to find the rhythm in there. So, Oklahoma, man, again, Oklahoma and Auburn, those next two games are going to be tough, tricky games. The record won't indicate it to you, but those are going to be tough, tricky games. Because their defenses are a lot better than what their records kind of indicate for you. And I feel like they have, and again, you look at our offense, like, yes, we scored 52 points today. It was great to see Austin Mack and Ty Simpson go out there and make plays. But we got to be honest though, guys. I mean, this offense I still feel like we're lacking identity offensively. Jalen Murrow is inconsistent, doesn't really set his feet, continues to, again, we all know how he is. He's not a post snap progression player. He's a guy that relies heavily on pre-snap reads. The offensive line, I feel like, is still not really there. I mean, Vandermark got. I mean, again, I think he had to fill in for Roberts, but Vandermark got his ass kicked. The right side of the offensive line,
he did.
A weak point again for this team. And then our running game, it's like we can't find a balance between what we want to do in the passing attack and the running attack. We're not a downhill football team. We're just how Nick Sheridan has made this football team look like we should run the ball downhill. I feel like we have the players and or the personnel to do it, but the fact of the matter is the scheme just doesn't really allow this team to run downhill the majority of the time. This is a team that primarily wants to try to bounce it out. We're going to be, we're more of a team that's kind of more predicated on more of a zone scheme. We like to get our guards and tackles out in space, our centers out in space. And for the most part, our running backs, Jan Miller, continues to bounce it out to the outside. I think Justice Haynes is finding his rhythm. I think he's starting to play a little bit more hard, but quite frankly, I just don't think that this is a football team that that you can rely heavily to play smash mouth ball. I just don't think it's in this DNA, and it's a problem because Jalen Murrow is not. He's not. I keep saying this, guys. He's not Michael Penix, man. Like, if Michael Penix was running this offense, yes, this offense would be completely different. This offense will be completely more explosive, but he's just not. And so I do have my concerns knowing how Oklahoma is disciplined. I do. I think that this can be more of a trickier game than I think that people would actually kind of expect it to. And I would even say the Auburn game as well.
I agree with you, brother. It'll be some fan that'll come out and, we gonna blow, and don't even understand going on the road. These kids, these guys are gonna play, man. But let me get Piano Man here. Piano Man, I want you to talk to me about this, man. Coach Al just said it's supposed to be 65 degrees, sunny. Might be a little nip out there, a little hawk out there, as we call it. Chris from New Jersey spoke on it. Talk to me. Do you think any of these elements, going, we usually don't go that far, man. We usually don't go that far that way, right? Do you think that it'll have any effect on the way we play football going into this game?
It shouldn't.
Right.
The way I see it, I'm from the old school. It's cold out there for everybody. On both sides of the ball. On both sides of the field. Oklahoma, they might be used to it, but it's still cold out there for them too. I think execution, like what Ty said, execution is going to be the name of the game here. How you play your game. Do you want it? Are you going to come in and dominate, or are you going to once again kind of play down to the competition? And I'm not saying that as a put down, but Alabama should be much better. Now let's bear in mind, this is the same Oklahoma team that should have beat Tennessee, should have beat them. But that was the night that they were having quarterback issues, and so Tennessee sort of had that advantage over them. But other than that, Oklahoma actually outplayed Tennessee that night, played well enough to beat them, but they didn't. So we have to keep that in mind that these guys are still a formidable opponent, and we need to go out there and handle business. And you can't let the weather dictate you. You dictate, your environment and play and go with the flow.
All facts.
Brinsky.
Go ahead, Coach Jay. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, what's the weather?
What was it, Coach Jay?
5 degrees. Is that what y'all calling that cold?
Yeah, that's Kurt Mouse said. I wish it was 65 degrees, man. I'll hear it.
65 is sunny.
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect, man.
You'd be shocked at what some of these Alabama boys call cold.
No
You
threat,
know,
no threat of
60
rain.
degrees, it's
No
freezing.
threat of rain. Looking at it
Yeah.
on the other channel right now.
Yes. Brinsky, let me
See that
ask you this,
beautiful.
Brinsky. We all know Oklahoma's defense, man. That defense has kept them. That defense has kept them in every game to the point to where either they finally wore out and or they couldn't get no help from the offense, man. What do you think? This defense could cause us some problems if we're not careful. If we go in there, you know, pea footing, we go in there pea footing, you know, we gonna look up and our ass gonna be in a fight. What you think about their defense versus our offense, Brinsky?
It's gonna be interesting because I like Billy Bowman Jr. out there, studs. Them two of my favorite people, even though they are the biggest stars on defense.
Before
So,
you go, Brinsky, can I close this other one? Or you are you on that the one you was previously on? Can I close that one?
well, I'm on my mobile one.
Oh, you on
Only
both?
reason
Okay,
I'm on
okay,
the
okay.
mobile
Go
one
ahead.
is
It's cool.
because I'm moving
Okay.
right now,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Go ahead. You good? You good?
and the other one recording the show.
Okay, go ahead. You good?
Yeah, my fault.
No,
But
you good, brother. Keep going.
yeah, those guys. Yeah, I feel like we can get the lead early, and just go ahead and put them away early. I don't think they can catch up with us just how they've been playing all year. But I know how like teams like Oklahoma they playing bad all year and then they just turn into six stars
Sad.
when they play us. I don't like that. That's why when Jason said, "Oh, hopefully we don't get blown out," I'm like, "Oh no, you ain't putting that on us
Exactly.
right
Rat
now."
poison.
So it's gonna if
Bro,
we
if I hadn't been through everything I've been through this year, you would not hear shit like that from me.
Man,
Facts. Facts.
we just gotta go in there and take care of business early. I think we play at night, don't
Is it at
Yes,
night?
we? Yep.
6:30.
And come on now, man.
Yeah, it's a
And we
night.
playing at night? Oh no.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fired up just to
Fired
play
up.
us. Or whatnot. Let's just go in there, take care of business early, and then get up out of there. Don't play around with them.
Exactly. Everybody know, man. Teams play better at home on the road, especially at night. That's why I didn't understand why Arkansas didn't schedule that Texas game at night. 11 o'clock in the morning, you sort of playing into their hand or whatever time it was. You started playing into their hands. I would have loved to see that game at night, raucous crowd. I sort of think you sort of helped Texas with that time. You know what I mean? Coach Al, will our
Yes, sir.
offense be able to move the ball against that defense consecutively on the road at night in Norman?
Yeah, well, I think so. One thing I do know about our offense is because we're very multiple. We got a lot of ways we can beat you. And coming out of the bye week, we kind of switch things up in how we want to block folks. So now you know we can dress it up with the motions. We're gonna do a lot of motions, but we find some formations that we really like to run the ball from this year. So uh, that in fact, what you're starting to see now is a lot of pivot blocking and a lot of duo stuff that we're doing up front instead of trying to do the long pulls and the pin and pulls and with real slow developing plays. So
Yeah.
kind of what you saw against LSU, uh, with that kind of dominance up front, the point of contact, a lot of double teams. We're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see a lot more middle row runs. Trust me, we were just trying to keep him healthy today.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
wasn't we didn't
Very
want
light
to
work.
touch the ball a lot. That's why we was trying to let it go and show oops down the seams and get them safeties out the box so we can get a lighter box against OU because we're going to run it. That's who we are. Okay, so that's what I kind of see. Hey, Brinsky, Coach Sean, there's gonna be some mad folks in Montgomery tonight. You know what I'm talking about.
Bro, what was the score, bro?
It's 16-10 right now with about 20 seconds to go, or something, a minute to go. We got the ball.
JSU?
Yeah.
Man, they gonna riot in Montgomery tonight, bro.
It's over. It's a wrap.
Ooh, Lord have mercy, man. They gonna
Yeah.
riot.
Yeah.
Man, listen, Jason.
Sorry for that. Sorry for that. I digress.
Oh, you good, bro? You know what? I'm an HBCU man, bro.
Hey,
That's
man,
my loins right there.
I
That's
love
where I'm
hearing about that.
from. You know what I mean? I love that, bro. That's our conference right there,
Yeah,
man.
we
You
run the
said
football
Jackson
this
say
year.
one?
Yeah, 16-10 PM, man. And yeah, we got the ball. And
No love
but
for Bama
I
State,
love the
so you know.
way I love the way we
I don't
play
know
this
why
year.
I can only hear you.
Huh?
It's all
You
good.
say?
I
No,
said I
I said
love
What
the
now?
I can only hear you.
Only me?
Oh yeah, but it's all good. That's what I'm about to say. I'm gonna fix it in a second. But you said Jackson State won?
It's we
Yeah.
got the ball.
Oh,
Now,
lovely. I love it.
well, it's not quite over yet. We got the ball, and it's a minute and 20 seconds to go, and they're into the field, and,
Minute and
and we're
20
leading,
seconds left to
and
go.
we're leading, and we're leading.
JSU leading.
Yes,
What's the score, Coach Al?
it's 16-10 right now. We got the ball.
16-10. JSU got the ball. Anytime Bama State can get a loss, an A&M alum clicks my damn heels like Dorothy over here. So, I have no love for Bama State. I never understood these schools
Yeah.
with these weird mascots, hornets and bees, and what the hell's the difference? Hornet bee, dirt dauber, all of them the same. Can you go get it like a bulldog or something? That something that's more strong. A tiger. You know what I'm saying? So I Bama State. I hope they hold all the L's, all of them, all of
So
them.
one thing about the OU game, Coach, can I say one thing?
Sure.
I really think that Brett Venables, since we're talking OU, we probably gonna bracket Brian. Okay,
Got to. Yeah.
we're gonna bracket him. We're gonna try to man him up and play physical with him, and get the timing off and stuff like that. They're gonna force Milrow to go to that second and third read, which means that we really got to run the ball to set up the play action against these guys and play another clean game. Just make a business trip. We ain't trying to beat them by 20 points. Just make a business trip, take care of the ball, get rid of the knucklehead penalties, and just play physical at the line of scrimmage.
Shout out to Frightening Truth. You guys did y'all thing, frightening. Arkansas sort of, to me, shot themselves in the foot with that time of that game. It took away the home field advantage a lot. If that thing had been just now coming on, to me, there'd been a lot more pressure on Texas to really win that game. I don't know what Arkansas was thinking with the time of that game. 11 o'clock, like what? So
that had to have been a conference thing, man. There's no way they
might have
scheduled
been.
for 11.
Might have been.
No
right,
way.
Man. Shout out to shout out to Sogone Smith. Get off Montgomery. Shout out to Sogone. Shout out to Montgomery too, Sogone. I just don't like Bama State. But shout out to them, man. Jason, let me get you in here with Coach J in here really quickly. What's the vibe in Oklahoma going into this Bama game?
Oh, it hadn't been good lately. You know how it is. It's right now. I think a lot of it. There's a lot of folks that are putting a lot of it on Brent Venables, and rightfully so. I mean, when you make a hire like he made with Seth Luttrell, you and turn it into a kind of, I don't know. It seemed like it took him a little long to pull the trigger on firing him. Now we're hearing some things that it could have something to do with the AD and some of that other stuff, which wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know, man. I think that right now there's a lot of people that are pretty edgy. He's going to go into next season with a lot of heat, man. The seat's boiling. So, I think you get the right guy for the offensive coordinator job, and with this defense, you should be able to get it right back, and have a chance, because the defense is really, you guys said it, they kept them in most of the games. The only one that really, you had South Carolina game got out of hand real early. And then it ended up getting pretty out of hand with Texas. But really, you first quarter of that, when you give up 13 yards and had a turnover, had an opportunity to take a lead if your offense could do anything.
Anything, yeah. Facts.
So, yeah, it's one of those deals where you just, you hate to throw away any season, especially your first one in the SEC. It's been tough. And so I think that, naturally, you've got some fans that are kind of ready to pull the plug. You know what I mean? But I do think that, you're gonna probably see them really try to step up and do as best they can. I would say this about, as far as like what Hawkins is, the one thing that I liked about him was the fact that he can throw the ball very well. He's definitely mobile. We saw him layering passes against Tennessee. Now that kind of the confidence stuff is what went away. I think a lot of that had to do with Seth Luttrell and just what he was doing, not putting him in great positions. I think he talked him into, if you make a turnover at all, scared him out of it. Sometimes you got to let these guys go. You know, you can't play careful all the time. Or then you turn around and you end up what Jackson's been, and he just handing the ball away at the wrong time, like the Missouri game. There's no reason that you don't get to overtime there. None. So, you know, for him to have that turnover right there, you got to make sure that you've got to make sure that you get to overtime when you come back, and you've got to, you know, two minutes left, you got a 7-point lead and you lose in regulation. Not good. So, you know, the hope is I do think that with Hawkins working with Kyler Murray's dad, you know, he's definitely he can throw it, man. He's got a hell of an arm, but they really hadn't allowed them to push it down the field. And I think that that's the biggest problem. You can't get your running game going if you're not a threat down the field. You're just going to end up with a bunch of dudes in the box. So
I say this, Jason, man. I think Brent's gonna have them kids ready to play, man. I think Brent has always been, if it's just defense, Brent has always had these teams ready to play in the bigger games, man, especially at home. You know what I mean? Week off, these guys are gonna go into this thing. They're probably gonna have some new tricks up their sleeve. They're gonna be fundamentally sound on what we do with Jalen. I'm sure they're gonna try to take Jalen out the game. That's the best success to stifle our offense and put it on our defense and get us on some 3-and-out type things, 3-and-out, punt.
You definitely want to make Jalen beat you with his arm, right? You do not want to let him beat you with his legs. You do that, you're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, because he'll kill you that way.
Facts, man. Coach Jay, speak on it, man. You know, do you think what's your thoughts, man, as far as Jason told us the vibes of Oklahoma going into this game, man? Do you fall for it?
No, I'm not falling for it. No, I do think that this is a little bit different.
Don't call me a liar, man. What the hell's the matter?
Listen. I believe Oklahoma fans, but you know, I'm just speaking up from the players and kind of their mentality, kind of going in this thing, because you know how this thing goes, man. Like once the fan, like if the fans are saying something, you definitely know players are definitely like, man, we don't just do it, go. Especially if you're on the offensive side of the ball. Because you're not producing. You're not producing at all. Offensive lines is out of sync. The passing game's out of sync. Seth Latrell, he got let go of. And so now you're thinking to yourself, like, man, like, what the hell's going on? But no, I think that this is going to be, again, this is a night game environment. I can get there, maybe the fans are saying, like, we kind of just want the season to be over with. But these players they're going to get up for this game. I think they're going to get up for this game, and I think that this is a crucial game. I think that this is if Oklahoma can pull this thing off, this could be a turn for the program.
In terms of you still are trying to get bowl eligible. I mean, it's important that you got to win one of these last two, or else you don't have a bowl, and which means you got less practices too. So I agree with you. The team should definitely be. I'm telling you what the vibes are around Norman. That's what he was asking. But no, I agree with you. I think that you have to come out and be. And just get after it, and give it everything you got.
I know a lot of people want him gone. Simply because, now your offense, like first it was Lincoln Riley where your defense could never get in sync. Now my offense can't get in sync and the defense is all about it. And then I think the thing that killed it probably the most was Dylan Gabriel. I think hearing about what happened with Dylan Gabriel, going to Oregon when he wanted to stay at Oklahoma, but he was told that Jackson he was. Hold on,
whoa. That's not what happened.
Okay.
That's not what happened.
That's what the media. Give me the spill. That's what the media keeps saying.
That ain't it. That's look. He didn't even give Venables an opportunity. I think that a lot of us, and I think you were probably around quite a bit last season when I was saying no. You need to keep Dylan Gabriel if you can. And I would tell you that BV was the same way. He didn't give him an opportunity. He walked in the office and said he was gone. It was something that was and I would also say that once Lebby was gone, he was never coming back. But I think that there was a part of the fan base for sure that never really embraced Dylan Gabriel for whatever reason. And they didn't really even embrace Jeff Lebby either. And Lebby, I think situationally, he wasn't great at callings. There were certain things situationally you'd be like, damn, what the hell is he doing? He's talented, knows what he's doing and stuff, but I just think situationally there were some issues there. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like you said earlier, that you got a bunch of your top 5 wide receivers gone, right? But in the end, I would just say, to me, it wasn't. Dylan left on his own. That was something that he wanted to do. He made the decision to go and do that, and so it was. I don't love it whenever they put that on BV, because that was certainly not his decision. But I would say that it was definitely you should have found a way to keep him if you possibly could. Once he was gone, he was gone. But the biggest mistake he made was the coordinator hire. The way that he hired the coordinators, it felt like to people in Norman that he mailed it in with Seth Luttrell. That's just that's the long and short of it. So do they want to fire him? Some people do. Some people do. I'm not one of those people. I think that he's still recruiting is about as well as you can. And I think that they recruit underrated, a lot of underrated guys too. Right now you're looking at, and probably the best offensive line class in the country if you hold on to it with, Fasusi, Ryan Foje, and then Darius Afalava. They've got, these are 3 monsters that really going to do a job. But I thought their 24 line class was really good too. You've got some guys that were kind of underrated there. You got to get the right guy now, and that's the big thing, is that how hard is it to get a good guy if you are considered to be on the hot seat? How hard is it to get a good guy? I think there's some concern there. So from what I can tell, it sounded, I think as of yesterday, everybody was talking about Dan Mullen being the next guy. I think he turned it down. Yeah, I think he turned it down though.
Damn, okay.
So I would have been okay with that, because we know what he's put out there, and he's got a body of work as a coordinator and as a head coach. But I think as a coordinator for sure, and working with quarterbacks, it might have been a great deal. Yeah. I've been screaming for Will Stein, go give him whatever money you got to give him, because he's going to bring Rashad Samples with him and possibly Dante Moore as well. Because I can tell you this, you're not going to get Jackson Arnold back. He's not coming back. There's no 2 ways around it.
You think he's gone, Jason?
Oh, he's gone. There's no 2 ways around it.
Yeah, I would think so too, Coach. They screwed with his head enough this year. Yeah. You showed him he wasn't your guy when you pulled him that first time. After all the hype with Gabriel walking out and Arnold standing in the wings, all the hype he came in with, and then you start screwing with a guy like that. No, I think he bounces.
So let's get this last subject, man. I want to know what you guys think about this. Brinsky, let me talk to me about this real quick, man. A lot of young players play. I seen Caleb Odom out there running routes, man. They had him playing, a receiver position. I really enjoyed that, man. A-Day, he had a lot of problems getting off press coverage. I saw that personally, What do you think about seeing Caleb Odom get burned? And I'm talking about Caleb got burned early in the game. It wasn't when the game was a blowout. He got burned early. Talk to me about that, Brinsky. Caleb Odom. Who else? Seen Wilkin Formby. Seen several of these guys getting some burn early. Talk to me about what you think of. Oh, but I will say this: Vandermark had a bad game, man. He made some plays, but but he was giving up inside leverage so many times, bro. And his feet like they were stuck in the mud, bro. I don't know what that's about. I know he's versatile; he can play all those positions, but he did not have a great game today. Overall, he made some good plays, but he definitely gave up some as well. Talk to me about the young players, Brinsky, and at this point of the season, getting those kids in to get some burn before we take this huge road trip. You there, Be Sharp? Be Sharp. He'll come back on. Piano Man, pick that question up. What you think about getting these young players, man, in the game early? Okay. That's cool, Brinsky. That's cool.
I'm like you. It kind of hit me during the middle of the game of how young Alabama really is all the way across the board. And so putting those young players in there from the start, because if I want to say Odom started, I know somewhere close to the top, And if he hadn't dropped the ball, that was a touchdown. So
Facts.
that's good for their confidence. It's good for the experience. And then I'm also looking at the future. It's good for the future of
Yeah.
where I believe Alabama football will be next year. I know a lot of people are, not quite impressed with some of the things that's going on right now, but I think we're trending in the right direction. And it begins with some of these younger guys. Mbakwe did pretty good. Xavier Brown touchdown so the young guys are making a major contribution, which will uh, work for us down the road. Is making an immediate impact, but it will make one down the road as well. So I think it's all good.
All facts, man. Coach Jay, what you think about seeing them young players so early, man?
No, it was nice seeing them. I wish we had more games where we could play a lot of these young cats, so
Yeah.
they can get a lot more experience. But unfortunately, it just is not that way. But it was good to see Ty Simpson out there because that could be the quarterback.
Yeah.
That could be
True.
the quarterback next season. Caleb Odom, I hope he stays around. I know he has some tweets going around lately. That he, again, it just shows that he wants to be in there. I hope he can kind of stick around because you were able to see, man, like, yeah, he's a 6'5", 215-pound receiver that's got some burn. He's a physical receiver, man, and I would like to see him get more of an opportunity. But no, it was good to see a lot of the young guys, including the second group of offensive linemen that was able to get in the game, and see that they were able to kind of work and have some some scoring drives as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think the group that definitely will benefit the most in the future will definitely be the secondary. We had so many young guys play for the entirety of the season, whether if it's a Red Morgan, whether if it's a obviously Jalen Mbakwe, who I think took the majority of reps on the outside, and then you had obviously Xavier Brown as well. Like those, though, like that could be the the next 2 years of right there. Looking forward to it. So, but it was also again receivers as well. The Rico Scotts, a lot of those guys
Yeah.
were into the game and make some plays.
Jaron Hamilton.
Jaron Hamilton.
Mhm.
He had to against one of the better FCS corners out there. So that was really, really kind of good to see him, matching and going against more of a physical, scrappy corner. So no, I mean, this again, Ohio State fans will complain that we're playing against an FCS opponent around this time of the schedule. But
Ohio State.
yeah, I mean, it is, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
We gonna talk. No, we gotta talk about that too. Let me get Coach Al and Coach Jay when you get done, and we gonna speak on that.
Yeah,
We
I
gonna
think
speak
Ohio
on
State
that,
played-
Coach Jay.
I think Ohio State played an FCS team in Wrigley Field today.
they played Northwestern.
Yeah, that's it. An FCS team in Wrigley Field. I did say that.
Same difference. Yeah, yeah.
I did not stutter. I
Exactly.
did not stutter, Coach Jay.
Yes.
Well, they had their bye week this week. Okay. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Speak on it, Jason.
Yeah, man. I don't care about what Ohio State's got to say, man. All they do is talk. They talk, and don't win shit. So
Well,
whatever.
this is I did a video about this, and I'll be really quickly about this. I'm gonna let my boys go watch the rest of the games. We got this play, and I want to hear Coach Jay because I want to get Coach Jay riled up. I'm trying my best to get him riled up. Listen,
That's the one you got to get riled up right here.
yes,
Come on,
man. So here's the
That's a
deal,
grant.
Coach Jay. Here's the deal. We went to this playoff, right, Coach Al? Right, Piano Man? Brinsky, you back yet? Okay, listen. We went to this big playoff. We got 12 teams now, right? Same problems exist today as it did with 4 teams. How do you know that, Coach? Why do you say that? Let me explain. If the message you're trying to send is you have a weak ass schedule, don't schedule no opponents out of conference that'll get you beat. Don't schedule none. Then we've succeeded. We've succeeded, right? Why do I say that? As of right now, Indiana hadn't played, to my knowledge, not one
Nobody.
damn team in the top 25. Michigan State, Michigan, Central Illinois, or whatever the hell it was, something Illinois, Western Illinois. I ain't never even heard of Western Illinois.
Yeah, only good team
Right.
they lost to, right?
So if you're saying we're gonna rate Indiana based off their record. They're undefeated. Okay, cool. No problem. I got no problem with that. But if you're telling me it matters who you play, Georgia has went. I did a video about this, bro, and I'm gonna pick Georgia because they have the best example of what I'm trying to say. Indiana didn't have to go on the road to Ole Miss, on the road to Alabama, on the road to Texas, on the road to Kentucky. Open up with Clemson and close with a team that just beat Miami. If you're gonna penalize a team for playing tough competition, hell, the conference is hard enough as it is, right? But if you're gonna penalize a team like Georgia or not give them love for attempting to play teams who are tough out of conference, but we're gonna reward you for playing virtually no damn body, then I tell every team out there, schedule Hubba Bubba University and Teriyaki State for your non-con. Don't schedule no good teams, man, because they're not gonna give you no love for doing it, right? All they care about is the record, what your record is. That don't mean you the best because you undefeated. That does not mean you're better. This is why Coach
Bubba State.
Bubba State, right? This is why Coach Sean was never in favor of this conference champ stuff. I was never in favor of that because just because you win your conference doesn't mean you're better than the team in that conference that got 2 losses. It don't mean you the best. So
they're gonna scream and yell about that. And hey, who's the worst about it? Who is the worst about it? Danny Cannell. Yes. Danny Cannell is stirring that pot, telling you.
I already know.
See,
you know why, Jason?
Must be embarrassed.
Because that's all he has.
It must be embarrassing to be his wife, man. I can't even imagine
that dude. But look, listen. So in essence, Jason, you don't have the 12 best teams or whatever again. You have the 12 most deserving team. And if it's most deserving, tell me that then, and I'll be cool with it, right? Yes, Indiana, you deserve to go. You undefeated. If it's the most deserving, then tell me that. I'm okay with the most deserving. But don't you tell me Indiana is automatically better than Georgia because they're undefeated and they play Hubba Bubba State and Teriyaki University.
And they haven't any of the good teams in the Big Ten either, Coach. You're right. You're right about that.
Speak on it.
BYU is not better than UGA. Not gonna happen. BYU still lost last week against Utah. Utah got robbed.
Yes, they did.
Let's just say that like it is. So I mean, this window dressing, all this, it's politics, man, frankly. Everybody, UCF claimed they had a national championship because they didn't lose a game. Come on, man. They get 5 losses in the SEC, okay?
Yes. Piano Man, speak on it.
Matrix.
Right.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Penalized because you're good. That's the way that I see it. Good teams lose sometimes. Now, nobody said that, and I've been watching Georgia for the last few years. After that last championship, I watched the decline in them, but they were still good. They were still good enough to represent. They were still good enough, and the only team they couldn't beat,
facts,
couldn't beat us. But with that being said, would they beat Indiana? Beat them to sleep. Would they beat BYU? Beat them to sleep, resurrect them, and beat them again. That's what I'm saying. And so now, because they lost to Alabama and Ole Miss, now all of a sudden they're no good. I don't think that that's fair. Please forgive me for saying this, but that's the dominance of the SEC one more time. So until somebody beats us, and I mean just as a whole, all the way across the board, you're going to forever have this problem. And the way the transfer portal is going now, it's going to be hard for an SEC team to remain undefeated. That's just the way that it's going. Yeah. Now, when it hits these other conferences, then they'll feel our pain. Then they will feel our pain. And so when an Ohio State possibly could get left out, when a Penn State will get left out, and all that kind of stuff, then they'll say, then they will see exactly which way the SEC is coming from. So this thing about Georgia, whoever wins the night. And I hate this because both teams now have to play like their lives are dependent on it, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's fair.
That's another one. Penn State that don't play nobody. They play no. You got a 1 game schedule at the end of the season, and they're number 4 or 5, 3. Why? Why? Because their record they lost 1 game. Like it's unbelievable, bro. It's unbelievable the value they hold about these Big Ten teams, and they don't never play each other until the end of the season. It's a 1 game season. We got to wait till we play Ohio State or wait till we play Penn State. Then that's our season.
Man,
Try
that's
playing
crazy.
look, and
That's
Georgia
crazy.
got a taste this year of what Bama got a taste of 2 years ago.
Every
On the
year,
road
Bama.
at all. Yeah, bro. On the road at all these. We went to Texas, to LSU, to Tennessee. It was another one in there, to Arkansas.
Right.
That's tough, man. That is why you sit over there playing Teriyaki University and you're undefeated and you're thinking you deserve something. Man, Coach Jay, speak on it, man.
Yeah, tell us about the Ohio State there, Coach Jay.
No, I mean they just won't mind their own business. Ohio State, they think that they're just superior to everybody else. It just, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's just, I got a few Ohio State friends myself. They trash talk themselves. I mean, listen, I've said this about Ohio State for years. They are essentially an SEC team. And how do I know this? Because Urban Meyer openly admitted that he copied Alabama's recipe in terms of how how Alabama was able to become the program that they were. Urban Meyer, when he told the story about how he was doing the national championship. Remember, that was the year we talked about how A&M would win the national championship. That they should have been playing the national championship game over Alabama because they beat them. But that's for a different story about Urban Meyer in 2012. But he always told the story, man, about how that specific year he looked at Alabama's. He went inside Alabama's locker room and he looked inside those players and he said, "Oh no, we got to recruit the South. We can't just recruit Northeast. We got to get out and recruit. We are going to get our ass kicked here. We're going to get our ass kicked if we're not going to compete for a championship if we don't get bigger and better program players." So Ohio State, the reason why Ohio State is where they are right now is because they copied Alabama's formula. And quite frankly, a lot of teams are here because they copied Alabama's formula. But Ohio State, I mean, they're a Dollar Tree version of Alabama. They got a lot of talent. They've produced they've sent so many players off to the NFL. They claim receiver U, but they only have one national championship to show for it. A couple of playoff blowouts, a national championship blowout, and a loss that they still talk about to this day about the Clemson contract against losing to the Clemson in 2019.
Clemson's their daddy.
To that loss, exactly. So that's all they have to show for their legacy. 0-3 against Michigan, who that Michigan roster they only spent $2 million on their entire roster, while Ohio State had a cumulative of $65 million those 3 years that they lost. Not if you add in the $20 million, that's now $85 million that they spent, and they have no national championship to show for it. So that's who they are. They are a Dollar Tree version of us, and it is what it is when it comes to them. But no, you guys were right. I mean, the Big Ten. I mean, listen, 3 of the 4 teams that are in the top 4 are Big Ten teams. Like, really? Where are the so? Like, you can't sit up there and tell me that Penn State is better than Ole Miss. You can't tell me that Penn State is better than Tennessee. Where's the evidence? Because all I see from Penn State's schedule is like, yes, I'll give Penn State credit. They took care of the wins. They took, like, the games that they're supposed to win, they took care of. But the only ranked opponent that they played against all year, which was, and you know what? I might have to retract that statement because we can remember, ladies and gentlemen, this was the same Penn State team that almost lost to Bowling Green.
Yep.
Harold Fanine, a tight end, had 200 receiving yards on that same Penn State team by himself. So we got Penn State. They almost lost to West Virginia. Like, Penn State is not a great team. Penn State, again, they have a great defense. They have a solid offensive line. They have a good running attack and average quarterback play. How is that different from Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas A&M, Alabama? How is that any different from any of the schools that I just listed? Where is the evidence that Penn State is a top 4 school? The only thing that pops up in my mind is saying, well, the brand name. Well, it's brand name and their win-loss record. They have 1 loss on their record. So again, like Coach L said, this is all politics. Let's be like, there's going to be at least 4 to 5 SEC teams that are going to make the playoffs. Everything will work itself out, because at the end of the day, Penn State, they're not playing for a Big Ten championship. I highly doubt they're going to be playing for a Big Ten championship. But the crappy part is about the college football playoff is that it's the fact that they get to host, that they have the opportunity of hosting games. And based off of what? Are you basing this off of strength of schedule? Because if you base it off of strength of schedule, compare it to the 4 to 5 SEC teams that are named, they're in the back of the bus. If I have to kind of compare their conference, strength of conference.
Oh, Coach Jay, did it drop?
He may
Shout
have
out to my brother.
self-muted himself.
Shout out to I believe you might have muted yourself, Jay. Shout out to my brother Ty Hayes, who popped on to the scene. Man, we got to get you in here, Ty. Coach Jay. Brinsky. I believe that might have moved. Let me get Ty in here right quick, him and Jason real fast. Ty, give me your thoughts first of all on what you saw tonight, your game tonight. And I think you got a super chat. I believe that's yours right there.
Blotto, thank you for the 499s and how you guys think the offense did today in your honest opinion. I was texting with the guys about this. I'm not going to be on long. I'm about to head out, watch some college football games at a buddy's place. But as I was texting Coach Sean, Coach Al about this, Brensky and Jance, I think that the offense today used today's game almost as glorified practice reps, right? Yeah. You can practice against Alabama, and sure, Alabama has more talented players than Mercer, but you can't replicate what an opponent's going to do. You don't know what they're going to do. You have an educated guess. You might know scheme, all of that good stuff. But when you get into a game, it's different. I think that they were really utilizing this time to drill out some things as an offense. And when you look at it, the fact that you just obliterated a team in Mercer who everybody's going to say, oh, it's Mercer. And you're right. It's Mercer. This was a 9-1 Mercer that had the number 1 rush defense in their eligibility, right? FCS. They had the number 1 rush defense. They had one of the better offenses. I mean, this is a Mercer team that is pretty darn good. And Alabama went out there and handled them. So I think Alabama's offense did good. I think that there were times where I would have loved to see more urgency, but I really do believe, whether I'm right or not, that this was an Alabama team who utilized this game once they realized, okay, we've got this. Let's rep out some things before we have Oklahoma, before we have Auburn, before we may make it to the SEC championship game, because you don't usually get the ability to do live game reps and utilize a live game as practice against another SEC team. You just don't. So to me, it was almost like they took the opportunity while they were beating a team to say, okay, let's really drill a few things here and there and take this into the next few weeks. So I'm pleased. I will say this, guys, Jahad Campbell is on another level. That's linebacker 1 in the draft. The fact that he can rush the edge, the fact that he can be a standout inside linebacker is just unbelievable. I don't want to make the comparison, but it's impossible to watch him and not think of Micah Parsons. I mean, the past 2 weeks, what he has done, sensational. Richard Young, love what I see out of him. He attacks the line of scrimmage. I think Justice Haynes is getting better at that as well. Loved some of the runs later in the game from Justice Haynes, but yeah, I just think that Alabama, once they got up, it was like, okay, let's drill some things. Maybe we were out of rhythm and out of sync offensively against a Tennessee. Let's drill the reasons why and get them corrected before Oklahoma, before Auburn, and before whatever comes after that. That's my take on it, at least.
Was Jay, was you back? Brinsky, y'all back?
Yep. I'm here. Yep, the Big Ten got me. They silenced me. I spoke a little bit too much. No, I was just it's just I was just saying, man, yeah, everything is messed up. Hell, even our own conference is in a way messed up, because You know, LSU can. There is actually, if they pull this thing off,
Man,
there's a
yeah.
technicality that they can win, that they can go to the SC championship game if they win out, because everybody will have everybody would be 10-2. There's tiebreakers, and now they don't count head to head. They will count the opponent conference record. So they'll take all the wins and losses kind of together. LSU has the best opponent record out of anybody except for us. But we have to rely on Auburn to win. Like Auburn has to start winning some games. They will count that. Otherwise, if it has to kind of go to it, LSU will play the winner of Texas and A&M. And I'm assuming Texas will take care of business up until they get to A&M. We'll see what happens there. But the winner of those two will go to the SC championship game because of that crap. So it's not just the college football playoff rankings. It's entirely a mess. But no, it sucks that Georgia, Tennessee, like the loser of this game is out. Georgia loses another game, they're done. If Tennessee loses this game, there's a chance that they may be done.
But won't Tennessee technically be still in front of us? Because we both have 2 losses and they won the head to head.
Yeah.
No, because the opponent win-loss record. They don't count head to head.
Oh, okay. Wow.
In this conference, because everybody's 10-2, everybody's kind of 10-2 in our conference, and because they lost to Arkansas and now they're going to lose to and now Georgia. I mean, our win to loss record, it's above 500 right now in terms of opponent win loss record. We're second, right next to LSU. So if they're gonna have to go to tiebreakers in terms of 10-2, in terms of who's gonna go to the SC championship game, or if they're gonna count that for the playoffs, we're ahead of Tennessee if they lose. So that's the crappy part about all this.
So let me ask this before Ty get out of here. Ty, I asked Jason earlier. We all talked about it. Let me get your take real quick. I know you got to be out. Tell me your feeling going into this Oklahoma game. Jason told us the vibes of what's going on in Oklahoma and the vibe of going into this football game. We know Oklahoma's defense, coach, Coach Al, Piano Man, Brinsky. We all talked about it, Jay. I want to know what you think before you get out of here about Oklahoma's defense, the pride of being an Oklahoma fan, going into Oklahoma, man, to Norman. These guys are not going to lay down because it's us, man. We found that out in Nashville, Tennessee. So tell me what's your vibes and what's your thoughts on us going to Norman, Oklahoma. I don't think it's too early to turn the page to that game after this one.
No, it's certainly not. And I just got done saying on Bleacher Report that if you're Brent Venables, if you are Hugh Freeze, you know what beating Alabama does. How many guys have had a good performance against Alabama and their draft stock has absolutely risen off of that game? How many coaches have gotten extensions because they got a win against Alabama? How many coaches who've been on the hot seat, then they get a win against Alabama, and now it's like, okay, now we have second questions. Oklahoma knows what beating Alabama would do for them. Brent Venables knows, right? That's the biggest brand in college football right now. It is, right? Whether people want to agree or not, it is. They have the most players in the NFL. Nick Saban dominated the college football playoff era at a clip that nobody else really did. It is what it is, right? I'm not saying it's going to be like that for the next 10 years. Teams are looking really good, but that's the current status of everything. Beating Alabama means a lot. In terms of Oklahoma, I think that one thing, Oklahoma's offense is really going to struggle with the pressure Kane Womack is going to send and where he's going to send it from. I don't think that their quarterbacks have done a great job at diagnosing pressure. And the thing with Kane Womack that I don't know another defense has done to Oklahoma that Kane Womack will do is he will show you something before the snap and do something completely different. Hell, against LSU, against Georgia, he showed the same hand or a similar hand 9 or 10 times and did 9 or 10 different things. So then the 11th time, the quarterback is sitting there thinking, okay, what are they possibly going to do? It's causing second guesses, and it's just more time they have to think to process things. Bama's defense is peaking at the right time. I love what I saw out of the freshman running back for Oklahoma. Think he's going to be a really talented player, big dude, physical, really excited to see his future. Oklahoma's defensive front, fantastic. It's going to be tough for Alabama to establish a run game there, but if they do, it's going to get real ugly. But I think that Bama is going to be able to throw the ball around the yard. on Oklahoma, right? Because like no disrespect, Jason, but is Woody Washington going to cover Ryan Williams? Like, please, by all
Good
means,
Lord, I hope not. Good
let it.
Lord, I hope not.
Yeah, like Kendall Dolby going down was a huge injury with Gentry Williams because Kendall was a dog. Gentry's a dog. I love y'all safeties, right? I think Billy Bowman, I
Yeah.
think Robert Spears Jennings, they're both very talented. But if you get a one-on-one Ryan Williams or even Jeremy Bernard against Woody Washington, they're going to eat. So I just think that the injuries and the inconsistency across the board doesn't bode well for Oklahoma, but it's also a team you can't overlook just because they know what beating Bama will do for his season, right? And that goes for Hugh Freeze as well. You beat Bama and all of a sudden not as many questions are asked. And they've got a great defensive front. I love what they have in the middle in terms of the linebacker play and even some of the depth at the linebacker position, I think is very, very good. Love what they have at the defensive front. Think that's very, very good. I do think that Alabama is more favorable on the outside, and I think that they're going to be able to exploit some of that, which is kind of why I was texting y'all today. And it's like, why wasn't Bama establishing a run game? I was sitting there thinking, I think that they know they need to work out some kinks in the passing game to really exploit some of what they can against Oklahoma. So that's kind of how I look at it before I get out of here. I actually am about to hop off. Just had to come and say what's up to all of you. Can't have a Saturday with not coming and saying what's up, talking to the guys. Excited to dive into this more on Monday, on Friday. Roll Tide as always. Jason, excited about that game for Oklahoma. And it's just, I really do feel for Oklahoma and Oklahoma fans. You can't simulate the injury y'all had. The fact that Seth just wasn't the guy. It's just been such an unfortunate year. Should be a great game though. Really looking forward to it.
God, we appreciate you, bro, man. Just dropping in, brother. Thank you. That's from all of us, man. Much love as always. Much love, and I know that it's much appreciation from everybody in the chat, man. To my brother Ty, much love, Ty Broski. We'll get back up with you next week as always, my friend.
Thank you as always for having me. Ebony, hope you enjoyed the day. Janet, glad to see you in here. Bishop Frank, Frightening Truth. Everybody, love all the support. The time you give us is not lost on us, right? We all appreciate it. And these guys right here are amazing. Until next time, that's it.
All right, Ty. Much love, my bro. So let's end it with this, guys. Monday I will be. I think Monday I gotta see she play Buckhorn. Yeah, I'll be probably at her game on Monday. So let's end it with this, man. Give me your thoughts really quickly, Brinsky. Starting with you, go around the table. Tell everybody where they can find you and your final thoughts on this Oklahoma-Alabama game.
Well, final thought. Jason is not about to jinx us. We're gonna come in there and try to pull one out of Norman. I don't care what their record is, they still gonna come out there and play. So we're gonna see how it's gonna go. But as always, appreciate everybody in the chat for showing love. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and like button to everybody's channel. But to my channel, the Sharpshooters Podcast on YouTube. And of course, as always, it's right there in the chat if you don't know which one it is. B_Sharp on Twitter /X. And appreciate y'all as always.
Appreciate that, Brinsky. Janet, if Janet's in here, Mia want to say hello to Janet. You know what I'm
Check on
saying?
with me.
Janet, Mia said hello. If Patriot Life is still here, Mia said hello. You know what I mean? Them her people right there, man. She love Rob. She love Janet to death. I'm about to take her to this galaxy of lights, do a thing. Piano Man, give me your thoughts on that Oklahoma game finally, and tell everybody where they can find you.
I think we got to play a complete game once again. Don't take anybody for granted, and let's continue to trend. And the more we trend, I believe the more we will win. But just don't take anybody for granted. And only thing I'll say, lastly about that, run the football. Run the football. Let's run the football. And I believe everything else will open up. Where you can find me can be on, if you're on Twitter, I will be Music and Sports Guy. And if you're looking for me on YouTube, Piano Man 61. Now I'm just having a promo up there. but we're just getting started. But I would love everybody's support, like and subscribe. And I promise you, hanging around these guys here, I'll make it worth your while.
Facts, man. Make sure everybody tap in with these guys too, man. All of them got absolute great content, man. Jason, Coach Jay, Coach Al, Brinsky, and now Piano Man. Please tap in with these guys. Ty Hayes, these guys do great things, man. They talk ball. I love it to death, man. Tap in with them and support these guys, please. Coach Jay, let everybody know where they can find you and give me your thoughts really quickly on that Oklahoma game. And it's no, it's early. The week hadn't even started yet, but it's never too early. I won't be on Monday or Tuesday because I got these games with Mia. Give me your thoughts so I'll know on Oklahoma versus Alabama and tell everybody where they can find you.
It should be a tough scrap. I'm expecting a tough game. I'm not expecting a major blowout. I'm gonna expect maybe a 2-score win for us. I feel like, again, I think defensively, I think we're starting to find our rhythm. I think we're starting to figure out who the key players of this team actually is going to be. I think offensively, I think Oklahoma's going to be prepared for the run. I think they're going to prioritize Jalen Murrow. I think the game plan is kind of clear. You have to make Alabama throw the football. And we could see an Oklahoma team that could be a little overly aggressive, and so that could create a lot of one-on-one opportunities. That can create a lot of single coverage opportunities for us to capitalize, and hopefully we can take care of it. But I know a lot of people hate to say it, but you got to make Jalen Murrow the passer. You have to see if you can work through post-snap progressions, especially if you can take away his initial first read. So that it'll be interesting to see what kind of happens here. But listen, we've played against a couple of really good defenses, and we've seen Jalen Murrow, have some success. We've seen him times where he's kind of faltered under the pressure, and it hasn't entirely been on him because the offensive line didn't really do his best. Play calling wasn't really the best as well. I also think that this is another game. This is another game against a really good defensive unit, against one of the best defensive minds in college football. This is going to be another test for Nick Sheridan, because he's got a lot. The last couple weeks he's been let off by the fans, but if he does not have a great showing against this Oklahoma team, I can guarantee you a lot of Bama fans are going to come for his head again. So he's got to show the ability, man, to put these players in the best possible situations, and hopefully we can execute with the game plan that's being set forth with. So I think that this is going to be a tough, scrappy game. Again, this is going to be a night game environment, 65 degrees. Again, that's perfect weather for me, man. But you never, like I said before, man, some of these Bama players, man, they're not used to it playing in 65-degree weather. So I mean, who knows? We'll see what kind of happens there. But I'm expecting a tough game. I said, this goes all the way back to preseason predictions. This was the second loss. I said Georgia was going to be the first one. I said Oklahoma was going to be the second loss, and I have stood by it for a while. So again, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Bama will win this game. They have to win this game, right? You have to win it. You lose one more game, you're done. Especially with how looking at how this college football playoff committee actually is. They're too unpredictable. You don't want to risk a third loss, especially your second unranked loss of the season. You cannot do it. So you have to win out if you want to make the playoffs, or at least have the chance to definitely at least try to get the first round by playing in the SEC championship game. So this is a trap game. They make no mistake about it. This is going to be the next couple of games are going to be trap games, and we'll see what sort of team that we actually are as a whole, right? Not just one-sided. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, you can guys find me on Jant Sports. I'm actually going to be making a video in a little bit, kind of recapping the game, and obviously I'll be doing my reaction to the Georgia-Tennessee game, regardless of who the winner, the loser actually is. And so yeah, you'll find me there, and who knows? I might, I'll be going to the Bills game tomorrow. So I got, once again, I'm sitting right next to, we're not sitting right next to, but right above me is Taylor Swift. So I understand that there's some of your kids are Swiftie fans. So last time I was talking a lot of shit Taylor Swift. So I'll be doing the exact same thing tomorrow, man. So if you have daughters or kids out there that are fans of Taylor Swift, I have no apologies in advance. I will be talking my shit to Taylor Swift again. So, but yeah, that's all I got.
Facts, Coach. You going to the Kansas City game?
Yep.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. Good looking, man. Jason, give me your thoughts on this game, man. Very important, and let everybody know where they can find you for sure.
Man, just first off, I just want to say thank you, man, for having me on, Coach Sean. Man, it's always fun to hang out and get to talk to you, Jans. Man, sorry I cut you off
Likewise.
earlier, man. I wasn't really trying to do all that.
Oh, you good.
Coach Al, man, good to see you again too. Be sharp, man. My boy, man, I ain't talked to Be Sharp in a while, but I'm really glad to get on here with Piano Man as well. And I'm glad you got your channel up, boss. I'm gonna have to come check
Thanks.
you out. So, yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's kind of hard to expect much out of them because they just hadn't done anything offensively. So, I think you can make it hard on them. I think your defense can do some things to make it hard on Jalen Milroe, but in the end, if you're not able to put up any points, and that's what we've seen more often than not, you can't have really good expectations if you're Oklahoma. But if you're an Oklahoma fan, and I. I've been eating those words of I am not worried about Oklahoma's offense that I said all damn off season. So I got to eat them. I got to eat them words. So it is what it is, man. I look forward to the game. I'm hoping to be out there, but look, man, it's you just have to expect that it's going to be one of them type of deals where you're probably going to take an L here and it could get ugly. That's the one thing. If you're Coach V, I don't think they're going to fire him, but I think that you can't really afford to, you can't get a 50 ball put on you, man. You can't do it. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Facts, man. I appreciate you, Jason, man. All you guys. Coach Al, give me your thoughts on this Oklahoma game quickly, and then tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's the right game at the right time of the year for us. The way we're training, like Piano Man said, these are the kind of games that ever since the Tennessee losses, every game has been a playoff game for us.
Yeah.
So we're in playoff mode already. Players obviously can't let down. So today wasn't so much about Mercer as it was about us. We just had to kind of be who we are and just take care of our business, and that was good enough to beat Mercer. They come out healthy. So thanks for having me on, Coach. Easy to find out there Twitter. Al Sand 79. You can catch me on Instagram too at Al Sanders. It may be al.sanders.10. But hit me up. I'll hit you back and we can talk ball. Oh, and by the way, stay free.
Stay free.
Anytime
baby.
you see that symbol out there, that's me. That's the negative free zone. That's the 6-inch space between your ears. Don't get caught up in it.
Facts, man.
Live a great life.
Love that, man. Oh, Coach Al, let me know that Bama State and JSU started to bumping a little bit, Brinsky, right after the dead game, man.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. Come on.
Crazy, man.
So they took the L on the field and they took the L.
Yeah, show some class. Come on. You lost
class. Facts, man.
Hey, he ain't swag.
He ain't swag.
Oh yeah, he ain't swag. He ain't swag. Shout out to my brother Goose, man. Goose with the $9 super chat. Great show, coaches. Thank you, Goose. We appreciate you as always, my brother, as always, for tapping in, man. Just like Ty say, man, you guys' time mean everything, man. I appreciate all of you that tap in. Janet, much love. I love you to death. Everybody, man, that tap in. All my brothers on the panel, man. Good to see Jason again, man. You know what I'm saying? Coach Jans, man, likewise, brother. Coach Jans always bring it. My brother Brinsky, who got hella content. Coach Al, the knowledge is above all. And now we got my man Piano Man in the fold, about to help him grow his channel. Much love to my brother Coach Carl, who wasn't with us tonight. And On the Block Sports, man. Make sure you tap in with my brother Coach Carl. Love Coach Carl to death. And my brother Ty Hayes, the leader of this thing, man. Much love to him as usual for always getting us together and tapping in. Much love to Coach I too, man. Tap in with Fan Addict Sports Perspective, man. And PG. Tap in with PG too, man. Love to speak with him this week, see what's going on in Oklahoma with Jason. And just much appreciated for all these guys, man, and everybody who tap in with us. A lot of you guys tapped in on the Twitter and on the YouTube. A lot of you guys on here, man. Thank you guys so very much. Roll Tide to you all. And you can definitely find me at JMHO Sports Talk. That's on YouTube and Twitter. Just my humble opinion. That's all it is, man. Shout out to all my brothers. My daughter is about to kill me because I won't hurry up. I'm about to take her to Galaxy of Lights. And we about to go kick it, man. Thank you to all my brothers on the channel again, man. Much love to y'all. And we're about to introduce y'all to the SWD. No Diddy. Spinning Wheel of Doom. Had to get one, Brinsky. Hell, I had to get one, man. No Diddy. None. No Diddy. Roll Tide to you all, man. Until next week.